Hello, Mr. Rahul Wankhede. Welcome to Decontrol Show Season 2.
Hi Banu, back. It's pleasure to be back again. Sorry, after a long time.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless. A sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations.
We have been planning this, I think,
It
around
was
for 6 months, and now we fortunately got the time.
yes. So it was a great pleasure to have you on our show.
Same here, same here.
So how was your day going on?
Well, we just started, had a little bit of breakfast, and I was looking forward to this meeting because honestly, spirituality is the topic on which we both are probably the least qualified people. If we are at the
Yes,
base of the pyramid to discuss about these topics and all. At least defense careers was
yes,
good because of our experience, but let's see how it goes. And today you are going to have more fun than me.
yes. We will have a fun and we will have a lot of informative session.
All right.
Here is your first question. What is actually spirituality means?
See, spirituality, meditation, these are English language words which have become popular quite recently. Now, what mistake usually people do is they try to understand everything in terms of the language of the instruction. Like if they've studied in English medium, English is so much ingrained
Okay,
into the mind. Like sadhana is a word, but they don't understand it in the depth. They understand meditation much better. Spirituality, the word which goes closer to it in ancient Sanskrit is adhyatma, adhyatmic dunya, and all these words. So you have to
okay,
be careful about the languages because English is a recent language, just 500-800 years, and the
okay,
vocabulary of that language may not be so rich to encapsulate historical things that have happened previously, like Sanskrit, Tamil. These are at least 3 to 2500 to 3000 years old. English is a modern language. So when we use words like meditation and spirituality, basically we are referring to things that have happened much before. Words to बाद में
yes,
आए हैं. The phenomena existed much before. Now to slightly go
yeah,
away from the topic, historically the debate has been between science and religion. So if you look at European history, the debate was either you are scientific or you are a believer. What happens in Europe
okay,
is, and I'll give you the context why this is important. In the medieval ages, like from let's say 1100 to 15, 1600, these phases, Europe has gone through tremendous turmoil. There have been huge violence, huge social and political revolutions. And why did it happen? Because of the conflict between people's thoughts. There was a group which strongly believed in religion. For example, if Islam, I don't know if it's true, but they say that in Islam, the belief was that the earth was flat. In Christianity, the belief was that Adam and Eve ate some apple and then the whole population was created out of interaction of these two people. So these kind of beliefs started getting questioned. People started applying scientific arguments to religious activities. So the fight started. Now this is the European context. Now much before that, thousands of years before that, in this country, in this civilization, even in Greece, even in ancient China, Mesopotamia, there was a distinct understanding of science, religion, and spirituality. So, what was written down in books, if you follow the rituals and all that, you will be considered a religious person. Now, ancient
okay,
Hindu religion or even other religions included scientific principles also, like yoga was there, which was a science of health.
okay,
We had ancient sciences on technology. Uh, they say that batteries were developed by Agastya Muni. Yoga itself is a part
okay,
of Patanjali Sutra and all those sciences. Now, at the foundation of all these lies the quest for truth. Like since ancient times, people have been asking themselves questions like, who am I? What am I doing in this world?
okay,
What is my position in this world? So they are not asking question to some god or some religious book. They are asking to their own mind. Now that quest for self-discovery is an inherent tendency in human beings. Like humans try to figure out
okay,
everything that is going on. So in ancient times, for example, there was a cyclone, if an earthquake happened, people used to ask, boss, why is this happening? And the immediate answer that would come is, oh, somebody is sitting up there, he's doing things to you. They call it Ishwar, they call it Bhagwan. In Europe, they started calling him the God, the God. So when Jesus comes, he says, I am Son of God. If he would have said, no, no, I am only God, people would have killed him on the first day itself, probably. Similarly, you see
Okay.
Muhammad in Arabia, he says, I am neither Son of God nor I am God. He says, I am Messenger of God. He tries to create a new
Okay.
religion. So basically, these are human psychological tendencies who are trying to make sense of boss. क्या रहा है आसपास? Like, what is going on? Why are people born? Like, why do planets move and all? These kind of questions, when they come to human mind, the answers are to be found by self-discovery. And the one who goes on this path of self-discovery, he is called a spiritual person. And that is how the Europeans
Okay.
understand it. Now, coming to this land, this culture, where this science has been developed since at least 5,000 years minimum. Like,
Okay.
there's a popular yoga foundation called Isha Foundation, and the founder Sadhguru says that the history of yoga goes back to 15,000 years. It comes from somebody called Shiva. Now, Shiv or Mahadev or Bholenath, these are words given by outsiders. People called him, this is Shiva. He
Okay.
never told what his name was. So, in India, in Bharat, the science of yoga comes from him. It is said that he was one of the few yogis, and there have been yogis even before Shiva. Now, why Shiva became
Okay.
famous, why his name is more of a brand, because he was willing to share his knowledge. Otherwise, you see
Okay.
people who are into deep spirituality, they go away in mountains, they live in forest, away from human society. They don't want to come back. Like once you graduate to a higher experience, you don't want to, go back to the same nonsense of daily lives. But this man
Yes.
chooses to share his knowledge with the seven disciples, whom we called Saptarishis. Agastya was one of them in South India. You must be aware, yeah, Agastya is very famous, and
Yes. Yes.
we have, I think, Agastya Muni or Agastya Malai. The mountain is also there. Then Devi Parvati, his wife, he shares that knowledge, and from those seven disciples and Parvati, the knowledge then spreads. So when it look at spirituality, yoga is the physical aspect. Like even if and meditation then forms the second aspect. मेडिटेशन को हम साधना भी कहते हैं हिंदी में या अध्यात्म भी उसको कहते हैं. Now, when yoga and meditation are done together, it forms a comprehensive package to get the maximum benefits. But like,
Okay.
yeah, but like there are people who may prefer doing only meditation or only yoga. That is also fine. Okay, but if you do it together, like one after the other or one before the other, the total benefit comes to you. Now, spirituality
Okay.
basically means, from an English perspective, it concerns with the human spirit. Mostly, people take
Okay.
decisions based on thoughts. Spirituality says that your
Yes.
thoughts are immaterial. You consciously
Okay.
sit at one place with full awareness of the surroundings and observe your thoughts. So, that is the first step towards spirituality. That you start
Okay.
questioning your own thoughts, like, why am I getting these kind of thoughts? Where are they coming from? Slowly, you start becoming
Okay.
more aware about yourself. I won't use the word
Okay.
alert because animals are alert. You see a German Shepherd, they are alert, but they are not
Yes.
aware. A dog doesn't know
Yeah.
he's a dog. Life has given him two lines,
Yes.
birth and death. His whole life operates in these two lines. He behaves on instincts. A German Shepherd's behavior will not be totally different from a Labrador's or a Siberian Husky's behavior. They've all got it same, 90%. Why? Because they are instinctive. Nature has recorded some data in their body. You show, like for example, you show them a biscuit, they'll come and wag their tails. Behavior is common. But if you show biscuit to
Yes.
an
Yes.
adult human, the first thing is he will doubt your intentions because he can think. That is why we
Yes.
say human being. You know how to be a human. We don't say a dog
Yes.
being or a tiger being. Nature ने जो लिख के दिया है, they behave like that. They have intelligence. They have common sense. They don't have
Thinking.
awareness. Also, you must observe these are living beings who have a horizontal vertebral column. It is only those
Okay.
beings who have a vertical vertebra and the spine is erect. Only these guys are most evolved, like chimpanzees. Not necessarily
Okay.
giraffes, but chimpanzee, monkeys, even what you would say, human beings, because it has certain connections with astronomy and your physiology also. If your spine is erect, it
Okay.
directly connects to the brain. So your mental development happens fast. And that luxury is not
Okay.
available to most of the animals. And that is why we are the most
Okay.
evolved. Okay. Otherwise, every other animal is
Yes.
concerned only about survival. Like if you have pet dogs, give them dinner at 9 in the morning, they'll open their mouth and eat. But a human being will not be like that. उसका time fixed रहेगा कब खाना है कब नहीं खाना है, because he can think. Animal is not like that. You put it in their mouth, they will eat. Instinctive response. But a human being can choose his responses. Why? Because his survival has been taken care of. Spirituality happens only to those people, I would say, whose survival is taken care of. Because in spirituality, you are made 100% responsible for what you do. Like your own path, your own karma, what actions you did, the results you will get accordingly. These are the philosophies. Now, please do not preach these philosophies to a poor, destitute people, for example, a beggar. You can't go to a beggar and say, oh, ho, ho, because of your karma, you are begging. We don't do like that. So, first thing in spirituality is you give food, clothing, shelter, you fulfill the basic needs. Only then the human mind can shift towards higher thoughts like who am I and what is my place in the world. If somebody has not eaten well, you can't preach them yoga and adhyatma, it is useless for them. That doesn't mean that poor people do not deserve spiritual progress. They do. But first, give them survival. Otherwise, like animals, they will spend their whole life for begging for food. So you see, most spiritual
Yes.
centers and yoga classes have an element of annadanam, donate food.
Yes. Yes.
First, take care of your survival, then go to higher levels. So that is the overall broad picture of how spirituality looks like and what it is.
Yes. It was great. So from the above answers, I could hear a lot a part of yoga.
Mhm.
So could you explain what yoga actually is?
Uh, okay. Well, we can make an attempt because nobody has been fully able to explore it even today. It's so deep. So the original word is yoga,
Yes.
yo and go. Yoga means union. Now, see, these are also language problems because once we understand only one language, we try to understand other languages also in terms of the language that we know. Like if I teach you French, for example,
Yes.
you will ask me, ki, give me English translation of this French. So that is how it is.
Yes. Yes.
Now, these yoga is a Sanskrit word, and because our medium of language has been destroyed, which is said कि संस्कृत में होती थी पढ़ाई पहले, but now invasions happened, many things have happened. So to understand these words in terms of English, like foreigners have made yoga into yoga. Ram, Rama, Mahabharat, Mahabharata. I don't know why they add an extra A to everything. India, they did that madness. So yoga is loosely translated as yoga, union. Now, what kind of union? So what happens is mostly if you see, thoughts keep coming into the mind. Always, like it's a basic survival instinct, and then there is a physical aspect also, the mind and the body. Okay. So yoga means you transcend the limitations imposed by the mind and the body and the thoughts, and you get in union with the universe. Now, to understand it
Okay.
theoretically, for example, you fill air in a balloon. Let's say बर्थडे पे वो balloon फुलाता है ना, आपने हवा भर दिया
Yes.
उसमें.
Yes.
So there is an air in the balloon, right? Now, if you prick that balloon, if the balloon bursts, there is nothing known as inside air and outside air. It's one and the same. The air gets mixed up.
Mixed up.
Yeah. So the theory of yoga is there is certain energy in your body, like we are speaking, but our liver, kidney is functioning, brain is functioning. There is certain energy which operates in the backdrop, or background, you can say. Now, they say that when the human dies, like physically, the death happens.
Okay.
This energy goes and mixes up with the outside energy that is there, the natural energy. the energy which makes
Okay.
planets revolve and all. So the basic concept is the entire universe is one energy. So like the
Okay.
air in the balloon, the energy has been packed into this balloon. The body is a balloon. So to
Yes.
achieve union of this energy with the ultimate energy that is there, that should be the aim of human life. This is the basis of yoga. And yoga
Yes.
involves certain physical activities called yoga asanas. What they do is they stabilize the mind, so mental interference goes down. Then they build up your body so that you can progress to higher level of asanas. For example, like Surya
Okay.
Namaskar, everybody can do, but there is something called Hatha Yoga. It is very physically intensive. सबके बस का बात नहीं
Okay.
है to tolerate it physically. So yoga prepares you for that. Now what happens is once you touch a certain mastery in this, the union of internal energy with the external energy starts happening slowly, slowly. The mind calms down, the thoughts become very much filtered, the body achieves a certain level of fitness, and the person starts experiencing overall health benefits, mental benefits, and if he's doing sadhana or meditation, then spiritual benefit also happens. So if you see spiritual people like Gautam Buddha, or even in today's time, Jaggi Vasudev ji, who people call Sadguru, there is Ravi Shankar ji, then the leaders of ISKCON and Brahma Kumaris, just observe the way they speak, the calmness in their voice, the total character of the person changes inside out. Now, these are deep benefits which if not always can be described in words. Like if you ask somebody who is doing meditation if he is a sadhu, he may not be able to tell you in
Okay.
words. But mostly people says, "Oh, my life changed. I had a deep experience." So something within their internal energy changes that they are not able to express. Some people who are not
Okay.
able to express, they crave for more of it. That is how sadhu and sannyasis develop, and then they get bored of these materialistic things. Like, you know, once you become spiritual and you are stuck in Bangalore traffic, why the hell do you want to do that? They'll go out of that place, right?
Yes.
Sadhu will not get
Yes.
stuck in a Bangalore traffic. He has higher things to achieve, so they'll go away. Certain people who wanted to commercialize, they have opened yoga institutes. Not the names that I mentioned. Isha and Art of Living have a commercial angle because if you give it for free, then it has no value. So when you go for yoga practices, I would say start with the basics or at least go to a reputed place. Like you may have to pay some rupees more for it, but then at least it is reliable. Do not go for classes or trainers who say एक महीने में आपको certificate मिलेगा, we will make you experts. This quick therapy, 2 minutes of Maggie does not work in yoga. Because Bhanu, what happens
Yes.
is yoga is a deep science. It's not a quick fix.
Okay.
Like even I've been doing meditations and all, it takes at least 6 months, 3 months to show you some effects. And then you start knowing
Okay.
yourself better, like what my mindset is, how is my physicality, how do I react to outside
Okay.
situations. Just by doing yogasanas for a consistent time, these effects will happen. Now, when it comes to yoga, Shiv is one whom we call as Mahadev and many different things. He's called Adi Yogi,
Okay.
the first yogi. Why? Because not because he's the first one technically. There have been many before him, but this person chose to share his knowledge. So that is why the
Yes.
first yogi. From there to the Saptarishis and now all over the world. Maharishi Patanjali was a old saint, ancient saint. He wrote Patanjali Sutras. Then in South you have a younger yoga. I think that comes from Agastya Muni. I may be wrong.
Okay.
So then there are various branchings in yoga like Hatha Yoga, Surya Namaskar is there, Asana is there, Pranayam is there.
Okay.
So yoga is a system of
Okay.
8 steps, which is called Ashtanga Yoga. 8 steps,
Okay.
if I'm correct, is Yam, Niyam, Ahar, Pratyahar, Dhyan, Sadhana, Samadhi, and Yoga. Now, yoga is the last step,
Okay.
8th step. Yoga means union. To reach the union, you have to
Okay.
follow the previous 7 steps. Like Yama is, I
Basic.
think, some discipline has to be maintained. That is Yama. Niyam is a in the Sanskrit word Niyam is rules. You have to follow the rules. Then Ahar means diet, like follow proper diets. Usually avoid alcohol and non-veg. Animal life should not be in your body. That is the logic. Then there is Pratyahar. Uska meaning I don't know. Then there is pranayam,
Okay.
control over the breath, and these are like 7 to 8 foundation steps. Once the 8 steps are complete, the final stage is yoga. So they say that once you go through this ladder, the union will happen at the 8th level. Now, to do
Okay.
yoga, you have to do asanas, and all these things are there. So, one who is on this path is called a yogi. Now, in yogic
Okay.
language, there are categorized 3 categories of people. One is a yogi who is conscious of all these things and doing these things. One is a rogi who is completely diseased. Usko rog ho gaya hai. A quite a lustful person,
Yes.
you would say. The third category is of a bhogi who भोग प्राप्त करने जीवन में, like whose only aim is to have more and more desires to be completed, like खाना
Okay.
चाहिए, पैसा चाहिए, success चाहिए, materialistic kind of
I
people. So the best option, if you see from this thing, 3 things, is to be a yogi. Don't be diseased,
yogi.
don't be lustful. So rogi and bhogi are off. Come to yoga. So that's the whole theory of it.
That was a clear explanation about yoga, how
And this is
to
just
start
basics, na?
also.
Like the interpretations
Yes.
differ. I'm just saying from my understanding. If you ask somebody who
Yes.
teaches
Yes.
this, the answer would be somewhat different.
Yes. Obviously, it is the point of view of different persons. So your point of view will be differ from the another person.
Also, experiences will
So
be different. So what happens is, usually in like, people who are doing all this seriously, they usually will tell you that do not share your spiritual experiences with others. Because what happens is, if
okay.
somebody is a newbie, somebody is a new starter, he will try to constantly judge himself, like, why is that experience not happening with me? And actually,
Okay.
everybody's story is different. So usually we do not share spiritual experiences. Like you must have heard, like somebody
Okay.
went, sat on a mountain, and he thought he was sitting for 30 minutes, but 6, 7 hours would have passed. In that level, these are some deep experiences that happen. People see gods in their dreams, or people see miracles happening.
Yes.
So that is the time when that union actually starts to happen, little bit, not always, a little bit.
Okay.
Like I see in Isha Foundation, we usually see these scenes that people are simply sitting peaceful, the face is peaceful, the eyes are closed, the person is sitting erect, and tears will start coming from their eyes. They are not sad, they are not crying. The mind is totally calm, no thoughts, just crying for hours and hours. This usually happens in many places. There are some who start hallucinating, who start jumping around, shouting around. People say इसके अंदर देवी घुस गया, भूत घुस गया. No देवी or भूत has come. अंदर का जो कचरा होता है ना, वो बाहर निकलता है. Because once you become aware of what you actually are, the life that you are, that all nonsense starts coming out. So somebody starts crying. These are externally, the manifestation is different. Internally, purification is happening. So that is how
Okay.
experiences happen. But these are the symptoms. Internally, the safai is going on very deeply. You should see people who have done
Okay.
simple Omkar Jap. Within 3 to 6 months, their mentality will be changed because it affects you
Okay.
at an energy level. Like if you don't do meditation, you just do Surya Namaskar, you see what benefit it gives you. You add meditation to that,
Okay.
it's a much, what do we say, powerful combination. So, because you
Okay.
also start doing it.
Sure way. I will also start doing from today or tomorrow. From your previous questions, I could hear a word called consciousness.
Mhm.
So, what consciousness actually and why we need to be more conscious?
Why we need to be more conscious? So I'll take the second question first. See, if you look at human history, a lot of happenings in the
Okay.
world, like natural disasters or why humans behave in a particular way, all these things were ascribed to either religion or some nature made causes or God gifted, or they say act of God, कि भगवान की दृष्टि पड़ गई और ये सब हो गया. Then in the medieval
Okay.
phase, this thinking shifts to logic. Like, let's not blame God and nature for everything. Let's try to find out why certain things are happening. Then you see the emergence of psychology, sociology, political science, which said that human thought is the basis of all these activities. And now you are in the third phase of that evolution, wherein People have started questioning everything: their own existence, their
Okay.
religion, what their values are, what their elders have told them, everything. You see a lot of people
Okay.
becoming atheists because organized religion are problematic. Let's be very honest about it. For example, in a certain religion, that they say that somebody sitting up there is the only God, there is no God other than him. 1400
Yes.
years ago, to make that statement in a limited area, it was maybe okay. But today, when the world is globalized, 10 different people are sitting together, and you tell the gathering that my God is the only God, obviously they are not going to accept it. They are going to question it.
Yes.
So, these questionings are happening, intellectual stimulations are happening, and that is why it is essential to be conscious, because there are two opposite things: one is compulsion, one is conscious. There are compulsive
Okay.
tendencies, like if someone craves for chocolate and sugar, unless you give them the required dose, their mental disturbance doesn't go away. Same with alcoholics, same with people who crave, who are like, they have become
Yes.
slaves of their own desires. If you put a lot of
Okay.
sweets in front of them, they will go and eat out of an inherent
Yes.
compulsion. They cannot sit back calmly and decide ki, okay, do I really need this? That is consciousness, where 10 different options are available, and with full awareness of what is right and what is wrong, you take a judgment. Now, this judgment should also fit into logical analysis. There should not be any
Okay.
need to justify your decision based on religion. कि okay, मेरी किताब में वैसा लिखा है, that is why I'm doing. No, boss. Does it fit into your logic right now? So there are levels. Are you alert? Are you aware? And then are you conscious of it? Right? For
Okay.
example, we gave the example of animals previously. They don't have knowledge.
Okay.
They're alert.
Yes.
Even if a dog is sleeping, his ears are listening everything. He's much smarter than us. He's alert,
Yes.
but
Yes.
he is not aware. A constant state of alertness generates awareness, and a constant state of being aware about surroundings, about people's sensitivities, about what you are speaking, that results in consciousness. Consciousness is again
Okay.
English word, so language problems will happen. What is the equivalent word in Sanskrit? I'm not aware of it. But consciousness, one thing we need to remember is nobody can be 24 hours in a state of consciousness. Not even Shiva himself. You see, sometimes he is meditating, sometimes he is in angry mood. So even yogis will face all these problems, which is fine. They are perfectly human. But consciousness can
Yes.
be held for at least a few minutes, a few hours, not for the entire duration, because it consumes a lot of energy. They say that human brain itself consumes 20% of the entire body's energy. Now, the brain is just one organ,
Yes.
but it is taking 20% of your energy. So to keep it conscious 24/7, imagine your body may burst technically. So that is
Yeah.
the energy requirement. So these are levels that I said. Being knowledgeable, like first you know the surroundings, what is happening, see the world you are living in, get aware, get information. Then you be alert of it while taking decisions. For example, if you are going in a gurudwara, simple example, the knowledge has to be there that okay, I have to keep my head covered, because that place requires that discipline to be followed. When you enter, check whether the scarf or the headgear is there. That is alertness. When you go in, if somebody is not following rules, making disturbances, stop them from doing it. That would be awareness, higher state of alertness.
Yes.
And once you go there, sit calmly, observe the place, absorb the spiritual energy that is there. That is consciousness. But how long will you be
Okay.
able to hold it? Few minutes. It is the ambience of that place. A similar thing happens in our ancient Hinduism also, wherein temples have been created. But we never told people that go to the temple and do some dance or lead a prayer or tell that your God is only
Yes.
God. We say them just go and sit. Yeah, आराम से बैठो. Don't discuss your how dirty your job is or how your boss nags you. Just simply go and sit. Culturally, they have always told in Hindu families कि जब मंदिर में जाते हो शांति से बैठो 2 मिनट भगवान के सामने. They won't force you to do a
Yes.
puja. They don't force you to drink the tirtha or eat the prasad. They say कि simply sit. Now, what simply sitting means is relax yourself, become aware, you will get answers to lot many questions. Even Dr. Abdul
Yes.
Kalam, when he failed in the fighter pilot test, he goes to some mutt in some Swamiji's place, just sat there. Nobody gave him a prasad or tried to convert him. Okay, you have come now, become a Hindu. Nothing. Just go and sit. Talk to the pujari. He may solve some of your problems. So it's a journey of individuality. Now, Europeans and Westerners, they usually have a problem understanding all this because they think यार simply sitting is a waste of time. It's unproductive. बैठे बैठे करोगे क्या? Because their idea of productivity is activity. Only when you are dancing around doing something, racing in a car, they think that is success. So when such kind of people came to this land thousands of years ago, and they see a sadhu who is simply sitting blissed out, not giving a damn about the world, they say, ah, mad fellow. That is how they have written our history books. This is a land of
Yes.
snake charmers. They go cow dung and all that. These people don't understand anything because they did not have that cultural depth. And today you look at their family systems, their marriage systems, they have all been destroyed. Why this country
Yes.
largely survived is your foundations are spiritual. Like we have to
That's
talk
true.
in English because I don't understand Telugu. You may have a problem with Hindi, Marathi. But if
Yes.
I tell you Omkara, if I tell you Agastya Muni, you also understand. I also understand. Okay,
Yes.
so that is how it is. The spiritual bond is always there. It has always been there as a connection from the Himalayas till south, ancient times, and from Afghanistan till even Indonesia, Vietnam, Cambodia. Well, I won't make a political statement, but the biggest church and mosque in Asia are in India. But the biggest temple in Asia is in Cambodia, Angkor Wat. Now, people
Okay.
should make their own judgments as to why this exists in a secular country and how deep the spiritual bonds are. So, spirituality,
Yes.
yoga, adhyatma, omkara, these are the bonds that connected us through a common culture. So, when Shankaracharya comes from down south and establishes four mathas in four corners of India, nobody discriminates him saying, oh, Indian from South or South Indian, chalo niklo. Nothing that happens. He gets acceptance.
Yes.
Even today in Kedarnath, which is top right there in Uttarakhand, the Pandits are South Indians. They come from Kerala and Tamil Nadu. It's the, I think,
Yes.
what's their name? It's, I think, Iyer or Reddy or one of those families which sends the Pandits. So that is not a religious connection because the word Hindu did not even exist that time. The English language did not
Yes.
exist. But spirituality, understanding who is Shiva, who is Ram, all these things were connected at one point. That common point of connection is spiritual traditions. And as Sadhguru famously says, this country has been a land of seekers. You seek something. Like in engineering, we have seekers, active and passive. They constantly
Yes.
try to catch energies. So that was the culture of this place. We did not believe in one religion. We did not believe in one ideology for sure. You have Buddha, you have Jain, 24 Tirthankars who criticized the Vedas, but we did not go and kill them for that. We were fine. You want to be a Vedantist, be it. You want to follow Shankaracharya, karo. You want to follow Siddharth Gautam, who is known as Buddha, follow him, no issues. So that is why no one ideology. Even you see Buddhism has a deep spiritual element. You see Sikhism, the 10 gurus have given spiritual practices. You see
Yes.
even Indian versions of Islam, Sufi and all, they have spiritual elements. Even ancient Christianity
Okay.
had it. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि spirituality पे हमारा intellectual property right है. But why our traditions have survived this? Because the mentality of this country has been like that largely. That we don't believe
Okay.
one thing. Even politically, somebody supports Congress, somebody supports BJP. In South, you have different politics going on. In Punjab, there is different. यार हम एक आदमी भी ठीक से हम सिलेक्ट नहीं करते इलेक्शंस में. We elect the person and then we abuse him. So we are people
Yes.
who constantly want something new, who constantly want to explore themselves, and that is the basis which connects us. So questioning, the quest for truth is the bottom level, consciousness is the highest level. All activities happen in between these two levels, and these are individual journeys. So that is how it is.
That was a good answer from you. speaking about the spiritual and consciousness.
But again, this is all English
So
language jargon, okay? Nothing of this exists in our traditions. There are different
yes,
words and they have to be understood in that language only. So, a disclaimer for viewers. And also call it
okay,
yoga. Don't call it yoga. It's not yoga. The Americans call it.
okay.
I must tell you,
So
they've
you
corrupted
have
the science. Like they have Zumba yoga, water yoga. They have distorted it. So it's madness going on.
you have mentioned earlier that uh, so you will not share your spiritual experience, but do you have any spiritual experience before? Just a
Not
short overview.
not before, but one or many actually. Little bit of experiences have happened here and there. One was in my own bedroom while I was doing the inner engineering course, and again, as I told you previously, when we share experiences, we actually should not because people then start hallucinating or imagining something
Yes.
else. But yes, life has changed deeply after those experiences. Second one was in Kedarnath, probably one of the deepest. The third one
Okay.
was a living experience that I'm observing in myself, the way I used to talk previously, the way I used to respond to situations. The anger has almost gone, short tempered, that attitude has gone. I feel a lot
Okay.
more relaxed and balanced because the outside situations are heavily unpredictable. The workload has increased, but I don't feel Monday blues.
Mm,
I don't feel stressed out. Of course, physical exhaustion happens, but internally, deeply,
mm,
many things have changed. So, just the
yes.
first one I can tell you in brief, like when I was doing the inner engineering session, I think second or third session was going on, and I was simply sitting, and the person on the other side uttered a mantra. It's very powerful one. And suddenly, like I was sitting with my back erect, my hands were open, I was eyes closed, and tears started flowing through my eyes. Now, I don't remember when I cried the last time before that. I was very stubborn. If somebody cracked a joke, I
Okay.
used to frown at them. क्यों हंसा रहा है? Why are you not serious about life? Very preconceived notions in my mind, very argumentative about everything. I was like that before it. But after that
Okay.
evening, almost 3 4 hours had passed. The session was around 1 hour. I was sitting in my bedroom. It was pitch dark, nothing happening. I was simply tears were flowing. Was I sad? No. Was someone hitting me? Was I regretting something? Absolutely not. But I could not open my eyes. They were tight shut, tears flowing, and a certain sweetness of emotion was happening. Like everything was feeling good around me. Suddenly, it was not a mood swing, it was not hallucination. I was not even dreaming or sleeping, but total awareness. But still, it was happening. So that is when the
Yes.
change started. So that was the initial one. And have you had any experience like from your side? Do you do yoga
No.
or meditation?
I no. Actually
No.
no.
You're
But
saying this on camera?
from your
No.
yes, but from your session, I would like to start from
Okay,
today.
then let's start it right now. Your time has come. Okay. Where are you
Yes.
sitting right now? On a chair?
Yes, I am sitting on a chair.
Okay, just sit straight. ठीक है.
Yes.
Now your palm, place it on your navel. The navel navi, you understand ना? Navel. उस पे
Yes.
ऐसा
Yes.
रख दो. Close your eyes.
Okay. Like this. Like
हाँ.
this.
ऐसे नाभि पे रख दो ऐसे.
Okay. Okay.
Close your eyes.
Both the
Both
hands.
both. With one eye
Okay.
you shouldn't look at me like that. Close both your
Okay.
eyes.
Okay.
Now you must have heard something called as Omkara, wherein we do Om meditation. Now there are three sounds:
Okay.
A, U, and Ma. So you will do
Okay.
A sound, then you will do U,
Okay.
and then The Ma is silent. A and you have to speak out.
Okay.
Now just remember to do
Okay.
these sounds for equal duration. Like if you speak
Okay.
A for 5 seconds, do U also for 5
Okay.
and Ma also for 5 seconds. But right now you do
Okay.
only A. When I say start, you start, and when you say like
Okay.
as per your capacity, you can stop. Start with A.
Okay. Uh,
Let it go deep. You can open your mouth a bit wider also. Again.
Uh, uh,
Okay. Shift your hand position to the diaphragm, just below the heart.
okay.
Now you utter the sound oo for at least 7 seconds.
Ooh.
Once more.
Ooh.
All right. You can remove your hand, maintain the position that you are in. Do the sound mo. The mo should be internal for 7 seconds.
Mm.
Like like this,
Mm.
like a honeybee.
Mm. Mm.
Now you do a, u, and ma together, one after the other. It should be aum, like that. Equal
Okay.
duration. Start.
Uh,
Don't take gap in between. Continue. A, uske baad u, and then ma.
uh, ooh. Mm.
Slowly come back to the normal position and open your eyes. Felt something inside?
Yes, I can feel some peace.
No. Something in the inside. When you did a, something should have happened internally near your stomach area. Did you feel anything?
Yes,
Some
yes, I
vibration?
can feel some warm vibrations.
Some energy rising up slowly, slowly?
Yes,
Then
some internal vibrations are occurring.
remember, it was not just sound because sound was external. Something inside was
Yeah.
resonating with the outside sound.
Yes, yes.
So when you did ooh, where was the vibration happening?
So it is above here.
The chest area, right? This area, up till here.
Yes,
And where was the
yes,
more vibration happening?
near throat.
Upper also. Like when you do ah, ooh, and ma continuously, like ah, like that. When you do it, the ah will happen from the center of the stomach or navel, little bit below and above it.
Yes,
That is ah. Then this becomes oo. Then this is ma. Now, interestingly,
yes.
ah is the zone of creation. There, this is
Okay,
where, if you're a female, the uterus, the baby happens. Otherwise, this is where digestion happens. Source of energy,
yes,
it starts from there. That is why sitting
yes.
straight is important. So, zone of creation, the
Okay,
ah will happen. Then, heart and lungs,
yes.
the zone of preservation. U is said to be the sound of preservation or Vishnu. I is said to be
Okay,
Brahma who creates. U is Vishnu. And Ma is attributed to Shiva. This is your intellect.
okay,
This can either create
okay,
some world or it can destroy. And this is the zone of Shiva.
okay,
Now, it is said, roughly, it is said in Indian sciences that a person whose eye is developed is a very creative and a peaceful kind of a person. The one who
okay,
operates from Ma, the region of Ma, he may not be creative, but he is an excellent manager. Like status quo should be
okay,
maintained. He can multi-manage things and all. And one who has a higher Ma, but and who is not so well developed, he will be intellectual, but his intellect will be destructive. He'll be hyperactive
okay,
mentally, like lots of energy, like a vehicle with a good engine, good acceleration, but no brakes. That will be the Ma kind of a person.
okay,
So when we make children
okay,
set for meditation, we give them only Omkar from 7 years of age till 14 years of age, usually, and Surya Namaskar.
okay,
So we try to balance their A, U, and Ma. That is why I told you to do it in equal duration, roughly, so that your creativity,
okay.
your preserving abilities, and your intellect gets balanced. You should be
Balance.
intellectual, you should be able to manage things well, and if needed, you should be able to create new things. Now, simple Aum, if you do it for 6 months or 1 year, Banu, I must tell you, you will have tremendous benefits coming out of this simple exercise. Okay?
Sure.
Only
We'll
reason is,
continue from today.
yeah, like fix a time in morning or evening, ensure the surroundings are quiet, and do aum. Usually we have distorted it as a om. It is not omkar, it's aum. Yet u and became om. So people started calling om, omkar. But it is a, u and ma. And these are sounds you can create even if you cannot speak properly. Because while making other sounds,
Okay.
you have to touch the tongue up or down. You should have teeth.
Yes.
But a, u and ma, even a baby can make. Even an adult can make it.
Yes. Yes.
So these are basic sounds. We call them bij akshar, the root words. Like there are three
Okay.
basic colors, no? Red, blue, green. Out of the combination, other
Yes.
colors are created. So a, u, ma is a basic sound which even animals can make, even human beings can make. So there is no complexity of tongue. If you pick up an
Yes.
Arab, a Nigerian, an American, an Indian, a, u, ma will be same for all. The
Same.
accent, the language, the dialect, all of that does not matter. So om meditation or aum meditation is something that everybody can do, and I suggest people to start from this. Like if you are absolute beginner, please forget everything what was told in this video or any other video you may have watched. Start experimenting.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it, and I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations.